EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the BioWare Classic. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lauder alongside my colleague Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. Getting set to go at the Wetlands Golf and Country Club. We're located along the St. Johns River in the great state of Florida. Picking him up live now at the 10th. Nothing noteworthy here in the first round, Frank, but still plenty of golf to be played.
That's right, Rich. A little bit of a dry spell, but really not a lot of damage done. This looks like it's going to find the target.
That one was running so hot. Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here.
Well, just a little too much, Rich.
I don't know if it was wind at his back, he didn't calculate it, but he's going to be left with a difficult chip shot here. Solid play, heart of the green. That is another bogey. It's getting messy, Frank.
Ouch.
Par 4-11. Frank, we're looking at 443 yards.
Yeah, the Wetlands Golf Course is a really good driving course. This is another example here, Rich, where the fairway's just wide enough to reward a good tee shot, and then those two bunkers don't really come into play. But Wetlands becomes very difficult when you just start to stray a little bit off the fairway. Then you start to see why those bunkers are put there.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
And getting ready for the putt. So close.
And yet it still counts for another shot.
Just a couple of feet. Frank, you can see by the reaction, it has been that kind of week. Just a few too many pars. Stepping up to the tee at the first par 5 on this back nine. It's the 12th, and it is 576 yards.
Yeah, this hole bends to the right, opposite direction to what 11 does. A good tee shot, and you can actually think about reaching this par 5 and 2, but anything around the front or front left, still going to leave a relatively simple pitch shot. So when you stand on that tee, think of birdie at least here.
And he steps up to take this shot from the fairway. Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Who knows? It is a 4-round tournament, setting himself up for a good weekend, maybe a great one. Young star makes his birdie. Second shot, good look at the green. Excellent shot to within 10 feet. So coming off the birdie on the previous hole, a chance now for yet another one.
And momentum all in his favor.
Moves into the top 25 with that birdie. Second round coverage coming your way tomorrow. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. So long for now. EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the BioWare Classic. But this one has a chance to be really good. That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. From a perfect position, ready to play his next shot. Frank, long gone are the days when you putted with a simple blade. Now you look down and there's a frying pan on the end of a shaft.
Yeah, it looks like grandma's skillet these days. That's what it is. But, you know, putters are like drivers. What they've done with the technology is given you a bigger sweet spot. Even though putting is very, very precise, if you give a person a bigger sweet spot, he's going to make more putts. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Ooh, good effort right there. Almost made it. So they'll tap in. Did the job right there. Now to the second, par 3, 225 yards. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. One more turn of the golf ball.
Hubert Green once said 99% of putts that come up short don't go in.
That's a solid par putt. We're at the third hole now at the Wetlands. It's a par 4, 460 yards. Frank, you watched the Web.com Tour event down here, and what'd you see when the young bombers came to this hole?
Oh, this is a hole they just love, Rich. You know, it's flat, it's long, and it's straight, so they just tee it up, aim it straight at the green, hit it as hard as they can. And some of these guys were just going in with an 8 or a 9 iron. It was quite amazing. And, of course, when you go with an 8 or a 9 iron into this hole, you look at 3 more often than not.
Birdie try up next. Locked in on the read and the speed. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one. Even par currently.
That's costly right there.
Painful.
He's putting for bogey now. Frank, nothing really went the player's way this week.
Yeah, if this was motor racing, you'd say it's a case of having 4 flat tires.
What a hole this is, Frank. Par 3 4, 250 yards, and we're teeing off right in front of the swamp there.
You might see the odd alligator pop its head up. When you look at this, if you want to be clever, you can sort of hit a little cut in here, Rich, and then it'll work with that C-shaped green. It'll get the tee shot away from the bunker that protects the middle. And you never know, it might just sneak in a birdie.
And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. Sit down. Get down.
Oh, this is going.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him. It's that sneaky distance.
So maybe just a tough putt to read, Frank.
Well, I think you're kind there, Rich. 2 feet from that distance. That's the scoring zone.
Well, with that drop shot, moves to 1 over for the tournament. So that is the end of the second round, and unfortunately, the end of the tournament for our featured player, missing the cut.
Well, they certainly didn't hit the magic number here for the tournament. Fell below the cut line, and they just couldn't make it back. There's always next week.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the BioWare Classic. No complaints there. In the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Good looking shot right here. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
So on this back 9, we started with a par 3, then a par 4, and now we get to a par 5. The 12th is 576 yards.
Yeah, nice blend of holes there that you've just referenced. 11 bends to the left, consequently 12 will bend in the other direction. Good drive required. From there, just setting up perhaps 7 iron, 6 iron into a green that's sort of fairly uniform in shape and should present a birdie with a good second shot.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Not close, but not bad either. That one's about 25 feet away. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Workmanlike hole, he walks away with a par. Here we go at the par 4 13th, 452 yards. What's the best angle of attack?
The straight line really is the best way here, like a lot of holes on the golf course. But straight, as we know, is not often easy. Fairway does start to widen up the further out there you get it. So for the longer hitters, this hole actually plays relatively easy. For the shorter hitters in that narrow area, that'll leave you a lengthy second shot where you just might have to bisect the two front greenside bunkers.
Outstanding strike right there, right off the center of the club face, and a good chance for birdie. These putts keep the round together. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Continues to roll the ball very well. 14th hole here at the Wetlands, a dangerous par 3, comes in at 204 yards. There's some trouble out there.
And this is where you have to readjust your focus. If you start looking right or left of this green, you see all the problems that could come in and prevail. Instead, just look at that front bunker. Try and fly your tee shot over that, somewhere around the front edge of the green, maybe 3 or 4 yards on, and then the hole becomes that much easier.
And it makes the green in regulation. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Frank, I'm sure it feels good to get some red numbers on the card, but this tournament is probably too far out of reach at this point.
No question.
And it is not looking like a good lie. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Getting set for this next shot from the rough. What does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing. Good recovery shot. Couldn't make the green, but at least he's back in play.
Played the smart shot right there. Well, the stats say that is a green hit in regulation, but it's not yet a par on the card. Very tough putt coming up. This is a pretty long putt here. You'd be happy to get this to within 2 or 3 feet. You really want to take the stress out of that next putt. Struggling a bit with the flat stick and a drop shot here at the 15th hole. And getting ready for the putt. So not his best work. He'll walk away with a bogey. Frank, you've been there at so many tournaments around the world. 1 round to go, a chance to win. What's that feeling like?
Oh, this is the fun part, knowing whether or not your body can handle the situation. You've got to push it to the limit. But that's what sport and golf is all about. Trying to do something that you've dreamed of for so long.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the BioWare Classic. Frank, not overly long, but still a pretty good spot and in the fairway.
Yeah, that's in that 280 mark.
Second shot, good look at the green. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, Good looking birdie.
Really. This is that awkward length.
So they get it to 2 under with that birdie. Moving on to the tricky 14th here at the Wetlands. It's 204 yards, but there is plenty of trouble out there. Midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th. Now this for birdie, came away with par in the previous round.
Great too.
Beautiful. The last par 5 on this golf course is the 15th. It's 590 yards. You think, Frank, this is the time to be aggressive?
Certainly is. Longer hitters must be licking their chops on this par 5. 300-plus yard tee shot, you can definitely get home. Shorter hitters, just set it up for a nice wedge shot. But if you are going to go at this par 5 and 2, well protected by those 3 bunkers.
Right where they were aiming, in the fairway. And now the second shot here at this par 5.
That's an absolute beauty.
Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. Frank, you've been around this game for a pretty long time. Are players, in fact, more athletic today than they were, say, 20, 25 years ago?
There's no question, Rich, they are. That we've borrowed from other sports. If you can't make the player better, you can make them more athletic. And in the end, you're still making the golfer better.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Well, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Getting set now over the putt. Been a little too much of that, Frank, just sort of ho-hum pars. Making our move to the home stretch, the 16th. It's a par 4 and a good one at 455 yards.
And a chance to actually get a good run for the clubhouse because the holes are fairly short coming in. So good drive here. Find the putting surface. Maybe start the roll right here.
Frank, not the longest hitter, but sometimes you win tournaments by putting it in a good spot, and that's where we are right here, 280 yards out.
Yeah, 280 down the middle of the fairway. That'll never get you in trouble. Finally, something happens that's good.
That's a nice shot right there. '17th at the Wetlands, par 3, 238 yards. Frank, how would you describe this hole?
Well, it's a hole really that shapes up well for a nice little high draw. See the angle of the green pointing slightly to the right. A nice little draw into this par 3, and that'll find the nice avenue. Maybe a kick forward, 15, 20 feet left for birdie. And if you birdied 16, chance to birdie 17 as well. And it was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think you just write a par down at the end of the hole, don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here. Well, just a little too much, Rich.
I don't know if it was wind at his back, he didn't calculate it, but he's going to be left with a difficult chip shot here. Been this way all day. Airtight, no mistakes, solid shot.
And yet another green in regulation.
Frank, it has been that kind of a tournament. Another bogey. Final hole here at the Wetlands Golf and Country Club. It's par 4. It's not a long one, 377 yards. There must be some trouble out there somewhere.
Well, not really if you keep your wits about you. Just position the tee shot. You don't have to hit driver down here. Even a 3-wood's only going to leave a short iron. If you hit the 3-wood 250, 260 yards, do the maths, it's only 120 yards left. With that, with a scoring club, try and get that inside 10, 15 feet. Finish with a birdie.
But if you stray, then what?
Oh, no, we don't think of straying on this hole. This is the last hole. Got to finish well.
But I'm thinking about gators. Are there gators out there?
Well, there's gator on the menu.
Good looking shot right here. So maybe a nice way to finish up with a good approach here to the 18th and a good chance for birdie. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it is going to hurt the course.
Did the job right there. So that concludes the final round here at this spectacular setting. Frank, final thoughts on the tournament?
Rich, I thought this was really a fantastic venue that challenged the players, and we saw some exciting golf out there all across the board.